Good morning to one and all present here. We are from Ashok Leyland and myself Venkat Raman and this Kalidas and Rajesh. And we are glad to present our project in the NAQR Six Sigma case study presentation. Moving on. Just an overview about Ashok Leyland. This is the variants of our products which we are doing, and in Ashok Leyland we are from Ennur unit, and our vision is to become the global top 10 CV player in terms of volume. From Ennur we are from Shop 7 and we are doing two major vehicle critical components and two engine critical components. We took the theme of the project is to continuous improvement because it's completely aligning with our organization's theme. So we have done this project through the Lean Six Sigma approach. So okay, why this project? During the last financial year, we have faced a lot of issues with respect to customer complaint and the scrap in the cylinder rough machining line. We are doing that. So we got a PPM of around 6,000. So this is what affected our company's vision in terms of delivery. So we just needed to reduce the PPM halfway. So we took this project. Okay, this is the plan which we done, and this is the last year's FY19's PPM trend, where we faced three major issues like double hole shift and rocker face step and Welch plug oversize. So this is what we are going to see in the later slides. So this is just the PPM trend which we plotted in the P chart. This only we have drawn this chart with those three issues. So we got around the PPM of 3040. So we'll see how we eliminated those issues in the remaining slides.
In top three concern, first one is double hole shift. What is double hole? Double hole is used for locating and reference purpose for all machines in entire machining line. If there is any positional shift in double hole, it will affect all operations in the entire line and it will lead to the bulk rejection at final stage. This is our process flow diagram. In that we are doing a double hole making process in operation 50. If there is any issues, it will detected at final stage only when we are looking for other operations like that. So this is the major concern in that before we are detecting the issues, it always it will lead to a bulk rejection. By fishbone diagram, we are identifying 7 potential causes and we are validating the same. Operator skill. When we are going to the line, all employees working in lines are well trained and aware of the process, and also they are doing their work as per the SOP. So there is no issues. And then we are checking the clamping pressure, which may affect the position of the component and it will lead to the positional shift. We took 15 sample and it is as per the spec of 40 bar. Then we are going to coolant pressure, we took same as 15 sample and it is as per control plan only with this 5 bar. Then we are going to harness test of the input component. In that we are checked from various lot and we found the value of within the spec of 190 to 230 BHN and found okay, no issue. Then we are going for the locating port distance variation in casting port, because for drilling operation the machine is taking the reference of first, last and middle port for reference. So if there is any distance variation in that, it will lead to a positional error. Then improper averaging. What is averaging? Averaging is the locating and aligning of the component inside the machine, because after the double hole drilling, all the machine will take the double hole as a reference point, but during the double hole drilling, the component orientation is ensured by arresting the component in X and Y axis by locating that conical port inside the casting port. This is called as the averaging. In this averaging, we are noticing some issues that conical port is budding with the compression base instead of locating inside the port. The machinist could not identify that issue. It will automatically taken as the it could not identify whether the averaging is done or not. So it will automatically start the machining and it lead to the improper orientation inside the machine and it lead to double hole shift.
These are the seven causes of identified for the one is the we are using the root cause analysis, Y-wise analysis, improper averaging. Why improper averaging happened? The bunk is not getting seated on the port. The why the port is not seated on the port? The component is getting disturbed during the transit. Then only the component is disturbed. So we are using the brainstorming. Three causes are identified. One is introducing probe, and the second one is increasing the clamping pressure, and the third one is the introduction of the inductive sensor. Introducing probe is a cycle time maybe increase, or it will be the output will be reduced. Then clamping pressure, again the machine is not ensuring the clamping clamping sequence. Then we are introducing the inductive sensor. It is the best idea for the this process. Existing process, only we have fixed low pressure clamp actuated, then the bunk is coming down, no communication is there. Now the sensor is provided, then the sensor is ensured the machine and average unit to ensure the stroke length. Combustion phase 2 sensor distance is varying from the suppose the port is sitting on the bunk, it will be reduced. The stroke length is sensed from the sensor. Then the combustion phase, the bunk is not seated on the component, it will be not sensed.
This is where the problem happened. Actually, after implementing the sensor, we can see that the locating port is not fixing inside the port. The conical region is not fixing inside the port. It was just budding over the combustion phase. Then this is the error signal which we faced, and the machine stopped, and no component shift has been done. Okay. So that is how we eliminated the double hole shift issue. Then moving on to rocker phase step mark. This is the region where the rocker phase is being machined, and the same it was being identified at the end of the line. This is the process flow, and this is the machine which does this rocker phase semi-finishing. So this is how the defect will look like. So we try to eliminate this process. On analysis, we have seen that there are 8 major processes, and we have validated all the causes, and even we have checked the runout of the cutter, which we consider as one of the major causes which may imply on the defect, but even we found it as self-efficient. And then we have checked the clamping pressure, hardness, and everything was okay when we are comparing. So even we have checked the tool life, and it even found good. So then we came to know while observing that there is a play in the spindle while analyzing the runout of the cutter. So the specification has to be within 0 to 25 microns, but it was varying from 60 to 70 microns. So that is how we came to know about the root cause. So we are working on the spindle play. So why that spindle play happened? There is an improper transmission from the gearbox to the cutter. So then we have found that there is a spindle bearing loose. We are using a taper roller bearing. It is getting loosened when there is a high load happening over there. So we have got some ideas to look into it. So what usually it used to happen, what they will change the taper roller bearing once in 6 to 7 months. So it was actually high time consuming and cost consuming. So we have given an innovative idea just to install a set screw which can eliminate the play of the bearing. Earlier there is no projection and there is nothing for arresting the spindle play. Then we have introduced set screw alignment, and then this is what happened while installing. So after that, there is no spindle play was observed, and then the issue has been eliminated. So this is how it happened.
Third one was 30-day veticular pole undersized. Veticular pole is the pole which is generated during core removal in casting process or foundry. While it coming to machine shop, it will come as a casting pole. We are machine and finish the pole for a 30 with a close tolerance, and we will block the pole with a dummy block for arresting the coolant phase. We are facing the undersize in that particular pole. The process is carried out in operation 1 ton, and we can identify the same defect in that operation itself. This is the detailed process flow of the operation. We are doing boring and reaming operation for that particular operation. We are checking the process is followed as per the control plan. There is no deviation. This is the defective photo where the veticular pole diameter is measured at 29.5 mm, which is again the spec of 30 dia plus 0.033 mm. Then we take the data and plot in normality test, and we found this is a non-normal data. So we are going for the goodness of fit test. In that we found this is the fit with a 3-parameter variable distribution. In that the VPK is 0.87 only, which is again the requirement of 1.67 as per our management. In this cone diagram, we have identified 12 possible causes. In that we have filtered 7 potential causes, and we are validated the same. Then we are validated all the potential causes: clamping pressure, skill level, harness. We are checking the speed and pin also. It all are followed as per control plan only. While going for rough boring bar, the tool we are conducting one sample t-test and found the tool life is achieved as per control plan only. But when we are going to the finish reamer, we found the tool is broken before the set life in the particular period. So we suspect this is the root cause for this issue.
Then we have found that there is no change between, we thought there will be only 2 changes. One thing, it has to be made with the casting, and another thing, it has to be made with the tool. On analysis, there is no tool change has been done. Same tool is being used, but how come something happened with the casting? So we spoke with the foundries and came to know that copper content has been increased from lower spec to higher spec, because since we are going to transfer to BS6. In BS6 we are going from 0.6 to 1, so they have maintained the spec from 0.2 to 0.5. So that was the thing which we suspected. Then this is the mail communication from our R&D to foundries to increase the copper content on the component. So this mail is from foundry. So even they said they are going to increase the copper content. So how come this copper content may result in the chip off and undersize? So we did some literature survey where we have seen that if copper content is added, ductility of the component will increase. So if ductility increase, there will be continuous chip formation. This continuous chip formation may wear the tool sooner. So that is how the tool is getting weared out sooner, and before this spec life of 300, it is getting worn out earlier, and size variation is being happening. So this is the two sample t-test which we done. This is the previous life, and this is the after copper content life, and this is the suspect. These are all the probable causes, and we came to know that finish reamer chip off is being the issue. So how to increase the life of the finish reamer so that it can maintain the same dimension as per the spec. So we went for the transformation from a low grade tool to a higher grade tool. So this is what we have done. We spoke with various suppliers and came to know that instead of using a carbide coated tool, we shifted for a diamond coated tool. So we have done some pilot implementation, and there is pilot implementation. Then and we met the specification limit even till 300 numbers of the life. So this is after doing the same, we have done the normality test, and process PP has process capability has increased from 0.87 to 2.17 after after implementing the new tool. So this is what happened. So before implementing the new tool, the life was 262, and after implementing the new tool, the life came up to 308. So this is how the project implemented the cycle time. There is no change in the cycle time since we are just changing the insert. So this is how we eliminated the top 3 issues of the previous year to the current state. We have achieved almost 60% of the reduction in the PPM. That's how we eliminated this issue.
Now we are standardize and control all the process by implementing in the line for 3 issues. This is how we are plan and achieve within the timeline.
Thank you.
I'll ask only between operation 50, operation 110 and some other operation. I don't remember that operation. You have handled 3 operations, no?
Yes.
What is the overall impact of all the 3? You have attacked 3. Are those 3 in line with the Pareto diagram?
Yes, sir.
So what is where is the end Pareto, before and after of that Pareto? If you are saying I have attacked operation 10, sorry, operation 50. Okay. Where is this? That is, if you here, no? If you put operation done that, operation 10, operation 3, no? What is the reduction? You are saying somewhere you said some tweeze test and things like that. But what is the impact in terms of, earlier it was so much, what is the, because these 2 numbers, no? We don't know whether the base was same. Pareto is a very dangerous tool. It is only looking at defects.
Before that, the overall PPM was 5,000.
Why I am saying, no, you see on left side you have 70, right side you have 25. Both should be in the same scale for you to compare 2 things. Pareto are all very, very dangerous tools because you don't use percentages. You are using numbers, absolute numbers. So use tools with caution. I am not able, what I wanted to ask you is this, that operation 50, second was some other operation number. What is the overall impact? Because of this, our business was impacted so much. After doing this, our new reality is this much. Because your P chart is very good. You start off with a fantastic P chart. Now, where is the end P chart?
Actually, we have drawn the P chart only for those 3 issues, sir, not for the entire line.
No, I also want to know what actually happened
The overall
afterwards.
P chart
Afterwards.
Okay.
No, before, after.
it was 0 for those 3 issues alone.
That P chart would have, like, that's what I told them, no? First team. That first team you have to understand, before, after itself is there one slide. That project needs no presentation. It's only explanation if you want. So yours also would have made it because you started with a very nice P chart.
Just friends, just only one thing I want to understand. For bearing, that is replacing frequency, you are defining 6 to 7 months. Whereas the reaming tool and all, you are defining the number of components, right? So we have to use one metric. So because month or time will not give exact picture, depends upon the production schedule, maybe depends upon the shift. So number of components alone, you have to have one metric. In such a case, because if you say 6 to 7 months, we don't know how many you are manufacturing that particular month. Maybe you are operating single shift or 2 shifts. That is the one thing. Second is, normally this you are told vibrate, that is ovality of the spindle. It's more because of bearing loosening. Bearing loosening means what exactly you are trying to say? Loosening means what's happening?
It's a taper bearing, sir.
Yes.
It is actual play is coming. That's why the spindle. That's what.
No, bearing loosening you are telling, no? Loosening means exactly what, no, you are talking, you told about the.
While loosening, it creates excess vibration on the cutter. While that it will create a step mark on that.
Agreed. No, bearing loosening you are telling.
Yes, sir.
That's what bearing loosening means. What exactly you are trying to say?
We have a motor and there is a spindle. Between the motor and the spindle, we have the power drive. There is the taper roller bearing. So if there is a play in the taper roller bearing, the power from the gearbox is not directly connecting to the spindle. So this play will give, which leads to the axial play in the spindle. This axial play led to the defect.
The machine design change your bit. That's what is coming. I am not sure.
Yeah, no, that's what the bearing loosen means. Why it's probing to ask question is, at what frequency you are doing preventive maintenance of the machine? You will be doing scheduled maintenance will be there, no? At what frequency you will be doing that one?
The same thing is being done after the implementation. for every 3 months.
No. Earlier?
Earlier it was actually 3 months, but what they'll do, they'll just tighten the taper roller bearing whenever there is an issue happens.
So at that time, we will not measure that is ovality or that concentricity or eccentricity, that they will not check?
Actually, they may check, but
No. What I'm trying to ask is, whatever you are introducing, new process or new parameter, that has to appear in all the documents, so that, because this is your cost of poor quality will increase if you do everything in the year. So whatever you are introducing control points, control mechanism you are introducing in your production line. Also, the appropriate department who's supposed to respond for all this problem, maintenance department also, they are supposed to take care of this, because you are telling 6 to 7 month old means normally no preventive maintenance will happen in between, right? So there you have to incorporate. Thank you.